The second Lord Montagu of Beaulieu survived the sinking of the SS Persia 100 years ago. His family held an Act of Remembrance for 100 relatives and unveiled a lasting memorial. Our reporter Shan Robins went along to the Buckler's Hard Maritime Museum to find out more.
The Maritime Museum at Buckler's Hard tells the story of the sinking of the SS Persia off the coast of Crete while passengers were having lunch on December the 30th, 1915. They were journeying on the Empire Run from London to India during World War I. The Act of Remembrance ceremony marked the centenary of the sinking of the ship and the loss of 343 lives of the 507 on board, including the mistress of John, the second Lord Montagu of Beaulieu. Lord Montagu's granddaughter shared his own incredible survival story.
He was firstly in the dining room on the top deck when the torpedo hit. So he was able to go very quickly to his cabin. He had a waistcoat life jacket, which was self-inflating at the time, and when the ship sank, this brought him up from the vortex of the ship sinking. He also managed to climb into some wreckage and survive for 3 days in a lifeboat, and only just survived.
Roger's dad was a steward who helped Lord Montagu survive.
There was a damaged lifeboat which he was swum towards, and there was another guy in the water, so he helped drag him into the lifeboat, and that turned out it was Lord Montagu.
4 nuns from the Order of the Cross were on the ship to join as missionaries in Bombay.
Our sisters allowed other people to go on the boats. They stayed behind. But unfortunately, the SS Persia sank within 5 minutes, so there was very little opportunity to survive.
The ship was struck by a torpedo from a German U-boat, and the sinking was controversial because no warning had been given, and it broke recognised naval international law, which stated that passengers on merchant shipping should be given the opportunity to disembark before combat. Martin's great-grandfather was the second engineer, and his reports were able to explain why a ship that size went down so quickly.
I think it was struck near the rear, and that hit the boilers, and the boilers then exploded, and that made a large hole in the ship, so it went down very quickly.
Last year, the Montagu family were able to buy back at auction 3 £5 notes that also survived with Lord Montagu.
He had in his waistcoat 3 very important £5 notes. These were specially printed by the Bank of England at the time. He was travelling at wartime to India to work for the British Army, so he took that as his insurance policy, this cash in his waistcoat, and those £5 notes survived. They didn't disintegrate in the sea after 3 days of being tossed and turned in a lifeboat. So they managed to survive, and he wrote to his friend, who was called Sir Willie Portal, who manufactured those £5 notes, and he wrote to him thanking him for the quality of the craftsmanship of his workers who produced these £5 notes. It's remarkable.
A sundial was chosen as the lasting memorial because of their use for navigation on board ships before more modern tools were invented. This is Shan Robins for That's Solent.